You're about to watch a video interview with my good friend Andreas Liebenburg from South Africa. This video was taken about 2 years ago when I was down doing some training in South Africa. Now, I was actually teaching down in South Africa, but let me tell you, when you go to South Africa, you don't really go to teach, you go to get schooled. Andreas is a very humble man. He won't tell you, but he is the top of his game in South Africa. He's like in the top 3 of the highest level scouts in South Africa. I mean, this is kind of like unheard of, like heavenly territory. I mean, this guy could track a grasshopper through the Amazon. It is like God tier level, okay? Not only does he help regular people like you and I enjoy and understand the wild ecosystem of South Africa, but he also protects it. He's the kind of guy that when he starts talking, you just become quiet because he starts dropping some deep wisdom and knowledge on you. I remember one day we were driving past and you see all these big, like, these hills. I didn't know what they were, but they're termite mounds. And so he stops, he says, "You might be wondering about these termite hills, Paul." And I said, "Well, yeah." And he starts talking, and about 20 minutes later, I wake up like this. I mean, just listening to his termite stories will realign your chakras. I mean, it's that intense. He's a man of great skill, great compassion, great knowledge, and great wisdom. Now, I also mentioned that he is involved in anti-poaching or protecting the wildlife. And if you know anything about anti-poaching in these wildlife reserves, it's a very, very dangerous job. So not only can he track, is an amazing tracker of animals, but he can also, and does, track men, the most dangerous animal. And a lot of these men would rather kill than be captured. Now, I don't know if you can hear what I'm laying down, but this man has seen some shit. But on top of that, he's just a great guy. He's compassionate, he's friendly, and he's a funny guy. For example, one night we were out in the bush, and it's my first time in the bush, and we're sitting around that little fire that you'll see in this interview here. It's pitch black outside. We're all about ready to get to go to bed, and all of a sudden his dog Fudo, which you see in the video here, starts growling. And we all get our flashlights and we look around, and you see the tent in the background in this video. That's my tent. And right by that tent, there's this tribe, I don't know what you call it, but like a tribe, a caravan of hyenas walking right by my tent. Now, if you've never seen a hyena up close, like from 20 meters, like we're looking at these things, maybe closer, I don't know. They are a different breed of animal. They are shaped differently. You know, they're not a cat. I just think, oh, they're a cat, right? They're not a cat. They come from the mongoose family, and they got a wild looking face. So these things are filing past my tent, and I said to Andreas, it's like my first night in the bush, right? And we're just in like these little, you know, canvas tents, and they have like net windows on them, and you're supposed to leave the net windows open. You're not supposed to, not open, but that you can't put the flaps down for some reason. I forgot the reason. So you're in like a net tent out in the middle of nowhere, right? With wild animals going by. I'm a little nervous, right? It's my first time in the bush. And I said to Andreas, Andreas, you know, these things are quite close to my tent. You know, I said, what do I do if in the middle of the night, these hyenas come out and they start scratching at my tent? Takes a long pause. He's looking at the fire. And I'm waiting for some wisdom, right? Because he's been dropping wisdom all night. He's looking in the fire. He slowly looks up at me. He says in a quiet voice, "Just don't let them get you." Ha! So I know you're going to enjoy the video, so why don't you just go ahead and give it a thumbs up before we start. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. You know, what do you want to see? I have a lot of video from my time in South Africa. So if you want to see some video from the bush tracking or from the seminars or something, let me know and we'll get it up. And if you want to support the channel monetarily, there'll be links for a PayPal account in the show notes below. Now, this video was shot 2 years ago out in the bush, as you'll see. And as I'm watching it now, yeah, like there was a guy in the comments said, "This guy talks too much. He needs to shut up." I totally agree. I'm not the best interview at this interview in particular. And I figured out why. It's because I'm always trying to kind of bring back, like, how did the Bujinkan affect your life? You know, how did your meeting Hasumi Sensei affect your life? So I'm always trying to kind of steer the conversation there. Almost at times, I think, for no reason whatsoever. When I watch the video, I'm thinking, why didn't I just let him speak more there? And now I realize that if I'm interviewing a long-time practitioner of the martial arts, I don't have to keep asking them, well, how did it affect your life? Because their life should be the example, right? Just look at their life. Look what they've done. This is the example. And in Andre's case and a lot of these other guys I've been interviewing, their life is the example. I don't have to keep asking them like details like, oh, how did the Sanshin no Kata affect this? Or how did, you know, this kata affect your life? Or, you know, these questions, right? Just look at their life. Look at the example. Look what they're doing for their communities and their friends and their families. So when I do more interviews in the future, I would think that I would be a little bit more open to allowing my interviewees to kind of go where they want to go, whether it's about martial arts or not, because their life is the example. And I think you'll see that in this case as well. Again, we have lots of footage from South Africa. We have gun training footage, tracking footage, training footage. If you want to see that, leave a comment below and I'll try to get it up. Enjoy the video. Well, I'm here with my good friend Andreas in South Africa, out in the bush, the wild bush of South Africa. And Andreas, I want to thank you for having me out here. It's been such a pleasure and honor to be out here training with you.
It's a pleasure,
being
my friend.
trained by you.
It's a pleasure, my friend, and welcome to Africa. Welcome to the wilds of Africa. There's not that many wild places left in the world. This is certainly one of them. And as you've experienced today, we had a great day.
But you know, I really appreciate the advice you gave me last night when the hyenas came through and I said, what should I do when a hyena is there? And you said, just don't let them get you. I thought that was some very good advice.
You must be smart out here to survive, right? Yeah.
So I wanted to start out with just a few questions because you know, we have a big Bujinkan community,
right.
And maybe people don't know you. So you've been doing Bujinkan for a long time now.
Yeah, I've been doing it since 1988.
1988.
Yeah, we started in 1988, and my first trip to Japan was my first meeting with Soke Hatsumi Sensei was in 1991 in Luxembourg, at the Luxembourg Taikai.
Mm-hmm.
In 1992, I made the effort to travel to Japan to meet.
Already in 1992?
1992. Met Hatsumi Sensei there for the second time, and then obviously met all the Shihan. I can't remember when I met you in Japan.
Yeah, I don't know. When I went in 1994.
Well, I would have met you.
Yeah, you know, I knew you, I saw you, but I didn't really know you. You know what I mean? There's so many people coming through.
Right.
So I wanted to ask, how did you, decide to meet Hatsumi Sensei? What attracted you to the Bujinkan? How did you get involved with him?
Well, I think first, look, in South Africa, pre-1989, we were studying what we thought to be ninjutsu, right? Mm-hmm. But it wasn't. It was the South African Ninjutsu Federation, mm-hmm. headed up by a guy called Barry Pictor, for what it's worth. Mm. And we thought this was the real deal, right? We had Soke's books, mm-hmm. we had access to some of them. We had access to some of Stephen Hayes' books at the time, those big A4 books. And we thought this was good, what we were doing was the real thing. We didn't really know that the people that we were studying under didn't have a relationship with Hatsumi Sensei. I had never trained with him, in fact. And then one of the South Africans who was leading a dojo in Pretoria, actually Dennis, you met him on your seminar. Yes. He sponsored and he brought out a guy called Bryn Morgan from England. And then Bryn kind of laid the platform for ninjutsu in South Africa, having trained with Hatsumi Sensei. And so he put it to everybody, you guys can either carry on doing what you're doing, or you can join his organization, which at the time was the Shadow Warrior organization. Mm-hmm. So we thought this is good. We liked what we saw. Mm-hmm. We joined him, and that's how we kind of got into studying indirectly under Hatsumi Sensei. But then I really wanted to make it a mission of mine to meet Hatsumi Sensei firsthand, not to get it via someone else, as direct as possible. And the opportunity arose in 1991 to meet him in Luxembourg. It was the year of the sword. I still remember it clearly. And I was just, you're blown away, you're amazed, you're in awe of the man.
What was your first impressions of Hatsumi Sensei?
Just, beyond the physical.
Right.
Just this beautiful energy. And that stuck with me. And I think it was just Hatsumi Sensei and Mariko Sensei at that Taikai. And we trained, got to exchange a couple of words with Hatsumi Sensei. Don't really know what to say at the time, you're just like lost for words. But it was wonderful. We had a wonderful time. And I kind of said to myself, I want to get to Japan as soon as possible, which I then did the following year. So you felt like you wanted to train more directly with Hatsumi Sensei? Yeah. Why was that? It was just, it was the source. It was the knowledge, the feeling was different. And that's really what attracted me, was that special feeling, the kindness as well, yet the power, natural power. And that resonated well with me, it sat well with me. And I just felt there's a lot of life lessons and a lot of training to be had. And just to share some space with the man, listen to his stories and his experiences, and watch Hatsumi Sensei do the training. Yeah.
Now, many people may be watching this will be wondering, why we have an AR-10 here, and where we are. This magnificent backdrop and the fire here. I mean, you've had a very interesting life, and just some of the stories I've heard in the last few weeks, we could probably go on and on about this, but where are we? Well, not specifically, but what are we doing here? What's going on? Why are we out here?
So we're in a big five savanna ecosystem, part of the Greater Kruger National Park. We're in a game reserve called the Timbavati Private Nature Reserve. It's a privately owned nature reserve within a national park. South Africa's flagship park, which is the Kruger National Park. So the area is known as the Greater Kruger National Park. It's an area where the big five roam free.
What are the big five?
The big five are elephant, buffalo, rhino, lion, and leopard. And then there's a myriad of antelope species, 300 to 400 different bird species, and a bunch of other life that abounds here. It's classified as a savanna biome, so it's a savanna system, and with predominantly summer rainfall, dry in winter, middle of winter now, pretty dry, but we had a very good rainfall here. And animals can move freely, unhindered, no internal fences, so it's just a massive wild space.
And in fact, we've had, wild animals come in and out of this camp.
Sure.
You had a herd of buffalo come through here just a little while ago.
A couple of days ago, before you arrived. Yeah.
We had the hyenas last night.
Yeah.
Sometimes elephants will meander by.
Correct.
So you have special qualifications. I mean, people don't understand this, but you are what would be considered a master tracker or specialist tracker, or it's the highest level at the moment.
So I've got a scout qualification. There are only 10 scouts in Africa. To have a scout qualification, you need the highest guiding qualification, which is a specialist skill set dangerous game, and you need the highest tracking qualification, which is a specialist tracker. So if you've got those two qualifications, you consider the scout. There's very few people out there that have that qualification. We don't talk much about it, we don't boast about it, but it's a good skill set to have. But really it comes with about 30 years of bush experience, being out there on foot, guiding, tracking, and exploring this wonderful space, and sharing it with guests, and that's what I enjoy doing.
Now, we went out and I saw your tracking ability firsthand, and we had not so easy tracks this time, didn't we?
They were difficult to extremely difficult, and that was dictated to by the terrain and specifically what the animals were doing. Right. It's case by case in that sense, but the terrain is very tough. The ground is hard. The grass is dried out. It's all flattened, so we're not getting much dirt for the animals to leave tracks. And there's a myriad of aerial spurs crisscrossing the area. Aerial spurs is where the animals walk through, push the grass down in the direction of travel. So that just really makes it complex. Plus the rhinos that we tracked did like almost anti-tracking maneuvers, walking through the mud, covering their feet with mud. So hence like walking on moccasins, leaving no direct imprints, changing direction frequently, using the toughest of ground. So it was hard, but hey, we had success.
Yes, that was, for me, coming here and seeing that, I had no idea what was happening. I mean, you'd see a scuff mark in the ground and you'd be like, this is it. And then you'd give me a myriad of clues of why. It was soft, maybe there was dirt on the dew, it's fresh, and all these things, and I couldn't believe that you could find a rhinoceros just from a few scuffs.
Yeah, look, essentially when we're tracking, we're collecting evidence, we're observing evidence. Anything left by that animal passing through the landscape. So it's like connecting puzzle pieces and fitting those puzzle pieces together to build a story. And the more puzzle pieces we collect and the more we connect them, the more complete the story becomes, and it unfolds as we go. However, nothing is determined. So it's like, it can happen like this, it can go like that. We just have to adapt to that. So tracking essentially is the ability to follow the track and sign left by any creature, an animal or a human. So we do human tracking as well, especially from a conservation security point of view.
Not only are you very skillful in the tracking, but also in the the personalities of the animals and the species, and and insects here as well, and the birds and all the kind of wildlife. What I found interesting was when you were telling me that there was a smaller bull elephant, and he said, well, he's scared of us. That's why he ran away without kind of giving any show of strength. He just ran away from us, which is
it's about connecting all the dots. It's about seeing the bigger picture, being able to focus on the small, and then also being able to zoom out and see that within the bigger context of the landscape. This is a bigger ecosystem. It's like this web of life. There's connections between all the species to a certain extent, and everything serves a purpose here. Nothing goes to waste. So these are a couple of key underlying fundamentals that exist in these natural ecosystems, where ecosystem processes are still happening as they should be happening, as they've been happening for millennia. And the system is continuously adapting to changing weather or rainfall patterns, and it's a resilient system. And in that sense, it's really the study of nature, what you're referring to. Studying nature out here, and we're part of this environment. We're not separate, and when you track animals, you get that sense of belonging and that sense of freedom, that complete reset. It's like a recharge, and you get to experience it as it is.
I would say when you said that you get the experience that we belong in the ecosystem, I think the experience for me was that we are definitely part of the ecosystem, in that we could be part of the food chain
as well.
We're used to being at the top of the food chain, but here it's like you are absolutely involved in that food chain.
I mean, when those lions looked at you today, those eyes cutting into you, saying, "Hey, buddy."
We will have some footage of us, Andreas-san, bringing us literally within arm's reach of massive male lions and mama lions and cubs.
Family,
we were literally within arm's reach, and I tell you, I was a little bit surprised at how close we got.
Yeah.
And that was tremendous experience, just being up that close to the big bull elephant. I mean, Andres got us. I mean, you'll see some footage of this, but we were up close, and I couldn't believe how close we were to the wildlife.
I think that's important for people across the world to connect with nature like you did now. It reminds us of our past, and potentially going forward we should do more of that. And I think for people's sort of emotional and mental, spiritual well-being, I think that's very important to have those experiences. To realize and feel that energy, and to feel alive, and to feel hot and tired a bit and a bit thirsty. It's good.
Yes.
So
and super connected to the environment versus being so disconnected, which has to be
from it.
Talked about before, like when you're in a house and you want water, you just turn the tap on.
Right.
You want electricity, you put the light on.
Yeah.
But here we can't turn that on and off. We live in rhythm with in sync with it. So living in rhythm with something versus being separated from it, and maybe in a false environment. How does it tie into, or is it? How did it affect your ninjutsu, and how did ninjutsu affect your lifestyle?
Well, I think the one totally complements the other, and I think the sort of understanding or the study of this natural environment, how the animals interact with it, how we interact with the animals, the energy that surrounds it, the flow, the rhythm, that just being in the moment, dealing with what is the situational awareness of being out here, daytime and nighttime. Some of our operations are at night, like I did, that he walks right past us. And that's just a feeling. It's like getting the feeling from a person. And I mean, those are certainly lessons that I've learned from the Bujinkan. Yeah, so I can go on. There's many.
Right. Now, you were saying you sometimes deal with anti-poaching. That can be a dangerous job.
Right, yeah.
I mean, the dangerous animal, they say, can be man.
Sure, the most dangerous of all.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
And I would imagine that the teachers of Bujinkan have maybe saved you sometimes, or at least helped you in your job.
Correct, yeah. The feeling and the awareness, the observation, the perseverance, you know, the staying focused, because you could be tracking people the whole day, right? You don't know when you're going to find them.
Right.
And then maybe this time of the day, before they start getting mobile again and going hunting illegally, obviously, you bump into them. And you've been tracking 20, 30, 40 kilometers on the trail. So certainly, yeah, the lessons.
You know, Sensei always says
useful.
that, you know, the ninja has to be able to sort of perceive the danger before it occurs, like maybe the Godon test, right? To feel that. Is there something like that in your job that you've been?
Correct, yeah. So I don't know if you remember yesterday, tracking the rhino.
Right.
When I feel I'm getting close, I'll say to the group, okay, we just need to be quiet now.
Right.
You know, we need to move a bit slower. And that's something that you sense from being on so many trails, so many follow-ups of animals or people for that matter. And you can just get that sense of, okay, now we need to just slow down a little bit. And that's, for example, when I, as a tracking assessor, when I'm assessing other trackers, I look and I observe, do I get that feeling from them that they can sense that we're close? It's like that Godin feeling,
Right.
or that feeling of there's inherent danger and it's imminent, or it's about to happen.
Right.
And I observe that, and if I don't observe that, I take that into account with the assessment process. Yeah, so that's certainly one of the feelings that you have to cultivate out here. You know, it's to survive as well, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
You know, if every time you just bump into the stuff, sooner or later you're going to come off second best. They will get hold of you.
That's right.
But again, you can't let them do that. You just got to be smarter.
So this awareness, and I guess we can just put that awareness down, that you're kind of like perceiving danger, feeling danger, is tantamount to being out so connected in this environment where you are definitely not one of the big five.
Yeah.
In terms of stature and,
Sure.
you know.
Correct. Yeah, so you want to, I mean, you always need to have that sense of humbleness, that sense of sort of middle-spiritedness, not being overly confident or boastful in that sense.
Right, right.
And not to be half asleep either.
Right, right.
So it's to have that relaxed awareness, that relaxed sense of knowing what's going on around you, and obviously using all your senses, using your gut, and cultivating those and developing those. And then mentally you want to be in the here and the now. You want to be in the moment.
I just wanted to mention that when you were talking about this middle spirit, we say hey Joshin, or like a calm, you know, like even heart.
Right.
That doesn't like fluctuate up or down, right?
Exactly.
And even in Sensei's, the last time I got footage of him for a video for his exhibition, he was saying, you know, just have that idea of hey Joshin and enjoying your life and things like this. So.
Now that is really important. If you don't maintain that, you'll either burn out or you'll be half asleep, that you're not picking up what's happening around you. So yeah, that calmness and that sense, that's a feeling, right? Is important out here. And the animals too, think about it. The lions we saw today, I mean, we saw the cheetah hunting the impala.
Yes.
Those impala, they were alert to something.
Yes, they were.
But they weren't sure what it was, because the wind was in the cheetah's favor. They didn't have visual of the cheetah. And yes, there was the francolin, which was alarming, which probably alerted them to the cheetah in the first place, but they were unsure, right? And then they settled down a bit, but they still maintained that alertness. Otherwise, they won't survive, right? And then even when the cheetah came, their reaction time was instantaneous.
Instantaneous.
They didn't question, they dealt with it. And they ran for their lives.
Yes, they did.
You know, but then, now you've just run for your life, just escaped death, and then they'll settle down, and they'll carry on feeding. So they don't hold that fear with them.
Right, right.
Otherwise, they'll become nervous wrecks.
Yeah.
Okay, at any point I can be hunted.
Right.
So they have that kind of sense to a certain extent.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking right out here. When the first night here, you're kind of very nervous being out here with all the animals, and you sort of feel a bit nervous, but you have to sort of bring yourself down a bit,
Correct.
don't you? But be aware.
It's good to have that nervousness in the beginning, because now you're overcautious.
Right.
I'd rather that than the opposite. But yeah, then you do relax into it. You don't become blasé. You must never become blasé. And there's certain guidelines that you will always stick to. You maintain those. But yeah, you must relax. It's important to relax, but still have that ability to deal with potential threats or danger, and just manage that.
And that Hei Joshin comes into play, I think, when you've had some amazing experiences. For example, training with the tribes up north, the Mosai.
The Mosai and the Samburu tribes, wonderful people, warrior people.
Warrior people,
yeah,
right?
strong people.
And you were training them in some tactical.
Yeah, right. So we were doing how to arrest poachers that are armed with spears, that are armed with knopkiris, which is like a stick with a big sort of bulb at the end. They use that to hit people with. Bow and arrows. So that's just kind of bladed weapons. That's all the stuff they're up against, right? So I was, as part of a tracking seminar, I was teaching them, okay, once you've now found the poacher and the poacher attacks you, they don't carry firearms. So it's kind of, you need to meet force with a certain amount of force.
Sort of hand-to-hand combat.
Hand-to-hand, really, yeah. How to arrest these people, how to restrain them, how to handcuff them. And that was interesting, because they're very strong and they're very energetic, and they do nothing at 50%. Everything is 150%, right? So yeah, that was a lot of fun and a good experience.
You said they were coming in doing some double grabs on you.
Yeah,
what happened?
So one of the things was a double grab, and the guy just grabbed my shirt and he just tugged, and next thing he had my shirt in his hands. Okay, so at least his hands were tied up, so I could use that to subdue him. But
that's funny. So your whole shirt came off in his hand.
Whole shirt. He just ripped it off my back.
And he didn't mean. I mean, he didn't mean to. So
No,
but
it was like,
that's what they.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So the idea was just a double grab, and he grabbed it and he tugged it, and the next thing he had the shirt in my hands. But it's fine. So you make a plan.
Right.
You deal with it as it happens.
And then you were teaching them a little bit about bladed weapons as well.
Yeah, right. Bladed weapons and then stick weapons as well. Using basically what they carry to defend and then hopefully subdue the attackers.
And these are based on Bujinkan principles?
100%, yeah.
100%.
Just using the basics.
Just using
the
basics.
angling, the distancing, the timing, and then some of the basic moves.
How did the Mosai respond to this training?
Absolutely loved it.
They loved it.
And because they're good with a spear, they're good with stick weapons, they're good with bladed weapons, it came very naturally to them to learn. And they understood the angling and the timing and the distancing and a couple of other basic principles. So for them it was ideal. And this was over a 2-week course, so I could build them up slowly. Striking skills, fighting on the ground, grappling attacks, striking attacks, throws, restraints, multiple attackers.
This is interesting because you'd think as a warrior tribe that they'd already have some sort of set way of fighting.
Sure, they do, but if they can see that this can help them and improve their ability, they're all for it.
Right, right.
Yeah, so they're very open-minded in that sense, which was great.
Yeah.
It makes imparting the training a lot easier.
So now, in a sense, we have Mosai Bujinkan as well.
Yeah, certainly. And across Africa, in Rwanda, I was training the Rwandese people.
Really?
At the end of a 3-week training course, they did a demonstration for all the authorities, right up to government level, and the guys were amazed, absolutely amazed. They literally, off their own, decided they're going to now do a demonstration, and it went right up to the Ministry of Environmental Affairs, which were present at that demonstration. And they just absolutely relished, and enjoyed the training.
Do you have any footage of that stuff?
I do, yeah.
Oh, really?
I'll dig it out.
Would
for
be
you.
able to have a clip of that somehow.
I'll find it for you. I'll find it for you.
Wow.
Yeah, that was absolutely amazing. And you'll be able to see all the basic techniques there. And they perfected them over a couple of days or weeks.
Wow. Is there anything else that you would like to maybe hit on about Hatsumi Sensei or the Bujinkan or your training with Hatsumi Sensei or like this before we?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things that I mean we have taken a lot of footage of you over the last few days, so we'll maybe introduce everybody to some of your discussions on the animals and birds and medicinal properties of some of the plants out here, and also some of your work training in gun training as well.
Yeah, so again, all the principles and certainly the techniques and the footwork and the mindset and everything that goes with it that we do in the Bujinkan applies to firearms, as it applies to swords, as it applies to bladed weapons. The common denominator is us, right? So if we develop ourselves, we can, doesn't matter what tool you have, it's just another tool of a certain trade. And the way we move around cover, the way we interrogate a room, that footwork, the balance, the knees, the alignment, body to firearm and body firearm to target. No different to a sword. So to me, the synergy and the mix, when throwing all these different elements together, but I've only experienced it with the Bujinkan. I did other martial arts before, and there was a disconnect there. I cannot say that has bearing on what I do now. So I think that's the powerful part of the Bujinkan. It's just so universal, and it develops people, and it hopefully, creates a platform where they can live a good life, a healthy life, and a productive life, and share with others. That compassion and everything else that goes with it. So I think that's key, and I think so we're super grateful for Sokei's message that he's putting out there, and the effort he's made to get it out there. Training, teaching us, putting up with us.
Yes, indeed.
Seeing we still got a long way to go, but there's hope. Yes. There's hope at the end of the tunnel.
We were young men when we started, weren't we?
Right.
Young boys when we started.
And we're still learning.
Yes.
And yeah, we share what we can with others. So I think that is, that's hats off to Sokei for putting up with us and for teaching us and not giving up on us.
And like you said, showing us that we can keep learning until till the end of the road. Huh?
It's like every day we go out and we have another trail. I'll learn something. I'll always learn something, and I'll take something home with me, and I'll remember that, and I'll internalize that, and I'll work on that every single time.
There's so many.
So you're always learning.
Yeah, and there's so many expressions that Sensei taught us that you can just lay over what you do here in this environment, like Shingen Budo or Koun Yusui, or all these things. Like Koun Yusui means like drifting clouds and flowing water. Right?
Yeah.
Being in sync with that nature.
Yes.
Shingen Budo means the divine rhythm of this ecosystem. Being led by that like intelligence that we were talking about with the termites, maybe just the intelligence of the ecosystem.
The whole mound, yes, correct. And how they interact with the environment and what role they play. Yeah. No, that makes it fun and that makes it interesting. But I think having the fun part is also so important.
Yes, indeed.
Not to take it too serious, right?
Yes.
There are serious lessons, but it's to enjoy them in a relaxed way and progress and keep going.
Well, I have to say that just the short time that I've been fortunate enough to spend in the bush with you, it's been very enjoyable. And sometimes very hard working on some of these, things that I have not practiced. Like the gun was very stressful for me, but I saw progress and I was very happy about that.
Yeah, it's step by step, You start the journey and you incorporate these things. I remember one of the things that Sensei said to me that stuck and that I share with others. He said, life is like this container, and you do this and you shoot and you ride your bike, right, and you do some calligraphy maybe, and you've got your family. You know, it's not to separate all those things from one another. The common denominator is you, and through all of these things you develop yourself. So whether you're shooting, whether you're running a seminar in Cape Town like you will be on Sunday in a couple of days' time,
Yes.
you develop yourself through all of that. And to get out of your comfort zone, I think, is a good thing sometimes.
Absolutely.
You grow and you realize what the limitations are and what you can work on. And so you keep expanding those. And that's the challenge and the fun part. Yeah.
Well, it has been a great pleasure and a lot of fun being here. And I want to say thank you for all you've done and continue to do. And if people don't know you in the Bujinkan, I hope that they can watch this interview, get inspired, maybe come to South Africa and see you, come visit this lovely park and spend some time with you, because it's been a real pleasure.
It's been great having you, and I'm sure we'll do more of that. And yeah, we'll see you in Japan again at some point, which will be also a great experience for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that was wonderful.
This guy is a big part of your life, I see.
So a dog is man's best friend, right?
Yes.
And this is Fudo.
Yeah.
I named him after the Buddhist deity Fudomyo.
Fudomyo.
Right. I got him as a 6-week-old dog when I was working in the Kruger Park under the fence from the neighbor who had a good litter of dogs. And it's a Belgian Shepherd dog, or a Belgian Malinois. And they are very intelligent dogs, very athletic dogs, as you can see. And they come. And they're very good with their nose. So they're hot scent dogs, which means they're very good at tracking people. If it's a reasonably fresh scent, right? And they're also very, very smart.
Do you take him on the outside when you're tracking people? Do you use him sometimes?
I take him with me.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, and we sleep in the bush together.
Really?
So he's also a great alert. I mean, you saw yesterday when the hyenas came.
That's right, yes.
He alerted us,
Right.
even though the wind was coming from this side.
Yeah.
And he couldn't smell them.
And the hyenas came from over there. He still knew they were here.
Correct. And so he's very good with his nose. He's very, very smart. He's sticking his bum in the fire now. You might feel it just now. So yeah, he's part of the team, and I've trained him, and I use him in that sense. And yeah, he's always with me.
Fudo, you're in the fire, bro.
Come, boy. Sit. Come this way. Come, sit. Yeah, so good boy. Oh. Yeah. So that's Fudo. Yeah, he's great in the bush. He'll warn me of potential danger, be it man or animal. We could be very distant from, say, elephant or lion, and he'll pick them up with his nose, and he'll let me know straight away. So yeah.
How about people who are interested in martial arts? Do you have any advice for them?
I think first of all, find a good guide or teacher. I think that is number one, and number two would be to commit yourself. If you feel this resonates with you, if you feel it's good for you, and to give it time. I think many people start and they don't have the perseverance to push through the challenges that they face maybe in the first couple of weeks and months. It's to really give it time and make the effort, train consistently. I mean, anything requires effort to become competent and then to move on from there. But also have the right motivation as to why you want to train, and find a pleasant group to train with. Where the people are nice, the instructor is good. You may not know what is good at the time, but you'll get a feel for it. So, yeah, I think perseverance is key, and practice hard.